Welcome to the Charlie Stubbs Show, featuring the head coach of the Nicholls State University football team, Charlie Stubbs. Today's program is presented by State Farm. Contact your local State Farm agent today and get to a better state. The Charlie Stubbs Show is also sponsored by Rouse's Supermarkets. You're either local or you're not. And by People's Health, your Medicare health team. Good afternoon and welcome to the Charlie Stubbs Show presented by State Farm. I'm your host, Mike Wagenheim. The Nicholls Colonels had already proven they could compete this year with victories over an FBS program and a Southland win under their belts. Nicholls sat above the 500 mark heading into the final weekend of October after most of the pundits predicted their season would, for all intents and purposes, have been over already. Last Saturday provided another chance for the Colonels to show they were for real as they hosted McNeese State, the fourth-ranked team in the FCS, and certainly a national title contender this year. We welcome to the program the head coach of the Colonels, Charlie Stubbs. Welcome.
Well, thanks for having me.
Again, another opportunity for the Colonels to show they have arrived competitive against McNeese, but the Cowboys in the end just a little bit too much.
Well, you're exactly right. I thought that, we did some good things, and we always have to, build off of those. But again, against such a team like them, they're so good in all three phases that you've got to, you can't make mistakes. You've got to finish drives. And of course, you got to get some stops and takeaways on defense. And we weren't able to sustain that. And again, the point total separated a little bit, but there were some things to build off of.
A family day back on Saturday, and it's always a festive atmosphere out here. Games for the kids, and rock climbing, music. Of course, you don't get to take part in any of that beforehand, but it's always nice to have that extra crowd out here.
Oh, I loved it. Since the 4 years I've been here, it's really grown a little bit every year. I'm talking about with the fan support and just the activities. It couldn't have been a better day weather-wise, too. And it's very economical, too. A lot of things that you can bring your whole family out, which nowadays in society it's tough to do that. But you can bring your whole family and spend the whole day here and have a great atmosphere and get to see some very good college football.
It was also our Colonels Kick Cancer Day presented by the Cancer Center at Thibodeau Regional Medical Center. The Colonels coming out in pink socks and, of course, a presentation for cancer survivors at halftime as well. I know you're very active in the community, especially over at Thibodeau Regional.
Yeah, we are, and we try to teach our young men about giving back, and that's a great cause, support, cancer awareness. And again, as we talked to the team prior to the game about that there wasn't a player in the room or a coach that hasn't had cancer touch their lives in one way or the other.
We're going to take a look. Let's take you back. Saturday afternoon, a beautiful Saturday at John L. Guidry Stadium. The Colonels looking for their first win over a ranked team since 2008 and looking to snap a 4-game skid against the Cowboys. We see Eddie Udo there, the nose tackle, available for the first time this season. Now, the Colonels have been strong on their opening drives this year, and no different in this one. The Colonels, for the 5th time this season, get on the board on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 4 at the Nicholls 42. Toscani Figueroa connecting with Damon Bolt for 15 yards. Nicholls came in with our 9th highest third down conversion rate in the country. It was good to have Bolt back from an injury. Unfortunately, he left this one on crutches. Colonels kicker Andrew Dolan has been struggling, but he connects on a 48-yard field goal here, by far his longest of the season. Now the Colonel defense trying to contain the nation's number 6 offense. Davin Bovey with a hard hit here on reigning Southland Offensive Player of the Week Marcus Wiltz as McNeese goes 3 and out. Bovey leading the league in tackles entering this weekend. Nicholls, though, goes backwards on their next drive as Figueroa is sacked by Kevin Dorn back at the 1. That would pin punter Connor Frew on his own end line. The Cowboys just blitzed and blitzed and blitzed all day long. It set up great field position here for the Pokes, especially after this 27-yard return by speedster Deontay Spencer. He was just a killer throughout the day. Now, McNeese has been pretty much automatic in the red zone this year. Spencer with a TD reception from Cody Stroud, who sets a new school record with a touchdown pass in 13 consecutive games. The Colonels trying to match here. Toscani Figueroa using his feet coming up here to get to the outside. He winds up turning the corner, and Figueroa, just the afterburners, a 41-yard run here. Toscani entered this game in the top 20 in the nation in rushing. He had 107 yards on 15 carries against the Cowboys. The drive stalls, though, and Dolan's 49-yard attempt misses to the right. McNeese still up 7-3 at the 4-minute mark of the first quarter. McNeese goes on to put together a clinical 8-play, 65-yard drive. Stroud finds Dejon Mitchell here for a 15-yard gain into Nicholls territory. Stroud completed his first 7 passes. Dylan Long takes it in on 1st and goal from the 2. TD number 6 for him, and Nicholls down 14-3 at the end of the first quarter. Unfortunately, the second quarter would start in a similar fashion. McNeese quickly drove down the field. Again, the handoff to Long as he scores from the 4. It's 21-3, and you're hoping at this point that it hasn't already gotten away. Kalen Henderson is inserted in at quarterback. Now, he wound up getting picked off in his first series, and he takes off here on 2nd and long. This is his 2nd series in the ballgame. Really shows his mobility, coming off a broken leg and a high ankle sprain. Goes for 30 yards to the McNeese 48. Nicholls, as a team, ran for 239 yards. Now, Henderson, not using his feet on this upcoming play, winds up using his arm, hitting Eric Buchanan over the middle. Buchanan gets to the edge here, and he has some blocking help, and he scores here on a 42-yard connection. Buchanan's 3rd touchdown reception in only 5 games. Nicholls now down 21-10 midway through the second. McNeese was held to a pair of Ryan Rome field goals after that, and Nicholls goes into the locker room down 27-10. Well, we looked at what it was after that second touchdown by Dylan Long, and you start to wonder, could the Colonels hang around? You at least slowed down McNeese at the end of the second there.
Yeah, we did. We forced them to kick field goals. And then also I thought, when I talked to the guys at halftime, just offensively too, the opening drive we had to take a field goal instead of scoring a touchdown. Then we missed a field goal, and then of course we scored. So, we're trying to teach them about finishing drives. Had we finished those drives, we could have put 21 points on the board and been right there, probably tied with them at that time.
Colonels, unfortunately, I think any team going up against McNeese can't afford to leave points out there.
No, you're exactly right. And I thought that, but the guys came in, we made some adjustments, and we came out strong, begin the third quarter.
I thought you did too. Third quarter now, special teams had already played a factor, and it would continue to. Deontay Spencer, the Southland silver medalist in the 100 meters, with a burst of speed here. You blink and he's by you. 46-yard return sets up McNeese at the Nicholls 44. Now 6 plays after this, they wind up giving the ball to Marcus Wiltz, and Wiltz sprints in for a 17-yard score here. He had 98 yards on 14 carries, and McNeese is up 34-10. But here comes that counterpunch that Coach Stubbs was talking about. First, it's Dalton Hilliard, a 54-yard run here, accounting for almost half of his 93-yard output on the day. So again, Dalton doing a nice job in place of the injured Marcus Washington. And then Toscani Figueroa, who was back in at quarterback at this point, finishes off a 2-play, 75-yard drive with a run here to pay dirt. Nicholls is right back in it. It's 34-17 with about 11 minutes to go in the third. Figueroa with his 5th rushing touchdown of the season. The Cowboys, though, determined to hold on. Stroud here to his slippery Ernest Celesti for a 40-yard gain to the Nicholls 32. Celesti with 3 catches, 11 different pokes. Caught a pass in this one, and that's one of their strengths. They have just so many different weapons at their disposal. Now this would set up a 5-yard touchdown run again for Marcus Wiltz. It's 41-17. Still, though, plenty of time left, about 10 minutes to go in the third. McNeese would get the ball back, but the Colonels made a stand on 4th and 1. So here's Figueroa back in at quarterback. He scrambles 12 yards for the first down, but he's hit as he slid. It's a personal foul. Toscani would have to leave the ball game, though, and would not return. So Kalen Henderson back in. 2nd and goal at the 4. Kalen spots Eric Buchanan at the goal line. Touchdown, Colonels. And with 2 seconds left in the third, it's a 41-23 score after a missed extra point. So it looks like Nicholls would have some momentum going into the fourth, right? But the Cowboys special teams doing it again. This time on the kickoff, it's Khalil Thomas. He takes the kick at the 6, able to escape. Again, just a massive bodies here, and you open your eyes and he's gone. And that's how the third quarter ends. A touchdown on the kickoff return. It just took the life out of the place. 48-23 in favor of McNeese, and their special teams very much a difference in this one. Nicholls would punt back to McNeese. First play here of their drive in the fourth. Kelvin Bennett goes for 44 yards. Longest run of the day for McNeese. Bennett with 13 carries for 169 yards. A very able number 2 running back. The Cowboys with 313 yards on the ground. And when it rains, folks, it pours. On 3rd and 2 at the 18, the give to Bennett. He is stripped at the goal line by Chris Bermond, but Cowboy tight end Zach Hetrick pounces on it. 55-13 now with about 12 minutes remaining. The Colonels would put together a nice 8-play, 75-yard drive. Kalen Henderson spotting an open Brad Nelson here for a 37-yard pickup. Nelson had back-to-back receptions. Henderson went 8 of 20 for 136 yards passing. Here on 3rd and goal at the 5, Henderson keeps it. He had 2 touchdowns passing, 1 rushing. Nicholls, though, falling by a final score of 55-30. McNeese, the number 4 ranked team in the nation, remaining undefeated in conference play as Nicholls falls to 4-4 overall, now 1-2 in league play. What, other than what you mentioned earlier, not leaving points on the board, what could have been done differently in this one?
Well, first of all, we got to play better defense is one thing. It's a team game, but the biggest thing we stress defensively is that, people are going to get their yards, but we've got to create some turnovers. We got to take the ball away from them, and, we haven't created a turnover in the last 2 games, and, those are momentum plays, and I guarantee if our defense got some of those, they would play with such great confidence. The next thing for that happening though, like our tackling, a lot of the big plays come off of missed tackles, and that's fundamentals. And then to strip the ball from your opponent, you gotta swarm. You gotta have more than one guy on the tackle. So the kids know this. We're working towards making it better, but that's one thing there. And then, like I said, offensively, we're starting to really do some nice things, but we're doing, we're leaving points out there, as I keep saying. I really believe even against the 4th-ranked team in the nation, I felt like if we played a little bit cleaner, we could have scored in the 40s against them, which is very good because when I went into this game, the previous week they played Sam Houston, which everybody knows how great a rushing team that is. Well, many may not know that defense held Sam Houston to just about 80 yards rushing for the whole game. And Sam Houston's a good team, and they even held their All-American running back to 22 yards. So when we came out there after the game and I looked at it, we rushed for 240 yards against these. That is something definitely to build on. But then closing, the special teams. That's a part that we've got to win that phase, or at least be neutral with our opponent. But they definitely won completely the second half, our special teams. They did a great job. McNeese did, and we didn't do a good job, and that really just killed the momentum.
It's a very good football team. Takes a lot to beat them, and nobody's done it in the South, and yet nobody outside of the top 5 in the nation has done it, period. So McNeese certainly with a shot at a national championship. I guess the one issue with the Colonel's success this year is that you can no longer take anybody by surprise. Everybody's ready for you now.
That's right. I even hear the coaches before the game. They talk to me, and they can see how much better we're getting as a football program. And so you're exactly right. And that's a good feeling, though. You're being respected a little bit more.
Well, the Colonels hit the road this Saturday, taking on Lamar. Our coverage begins 2.5 hours prior to kickoff on the Colonel Sports Radio Network, presented by your local Super Chevy dealers. At 3:30, LA 106.3 Rock Hits Radio brings you the Colonel Insider. They'll carry the game live as well. At 5:30, it's a Colonel Countdown on our flagship station, KLRZ 100.3 FM in New Orleans and the Tri-Parishes. KLEB 1600 AM, broadcasting to South Lafourche and Grand Isle, will also begin their coverage at that time. Both stations will carry the game live as well. We'll be back with a preview of the Lamar game, a check around the Southland Conference, and more with the coach in a moment on the Charlie Stubbs Show, presented by State Farm.
And this will be your premium right here.
Sorry to interrupt. I just want to say I combined home and auto with State Farm.
Saved $760.
Love this guy.
Okay, does it bother anybody else that the mime is talking? Freaky.
Bundle home and auto, and you could save $760.
That's 760 very good reasons to contact your local State Farm agent.
Donnie, I'm in Rouse's at least 3 times a week, and I want the best prices every day.
Come on, Chef. Let's go shopping.
All right. There's got to be at least 1,000 items just on this one aisle.
At Rouse's, we stock more groceries than anyone else.
I can see that. So what's with the tag? Best price every day.
It's the Rouse's guarantee. You're getting our lowest price every day.
So when I see this tag,
You know you don't have to wait for a sale
I can shop any day.
and get our best price every day. Rouse's. You're either local or you're not.
Well, we're all about the people that we care for. Every day we find a way to make your life better. That's what we're here for. Yeah, we're all about the people. We help you take care of yourself. That's what we do. We're here for you with people's health.
We welcome you back to the Charlie Stubbs Show, presented by State Farm. McNeese State defeated Nicholls last Saturday to remain perfect in Southland play. Keeping pace with Southeastern Louisiana, the Lions picked up a win in Hammond over Lamar. Southeastern racked up 566 total yards. 7th-ranked Sam Houston pulled away from Northwestern State after an even first quarter. Number 23 Central Arkansas celebrated a homecoming win over Stephen F. Austin. Checking out our future Southland teams, Incarnate Word didn't commit a turnover in beating Houston Baptist, and Abilene Christian nearly pulled out a miracle win over FBS-level New Mexico State. Southeastern Louisiana and McNeese will meet in Lake Charles this Saturday to break the tie between the 3-0 teams. Sam Houston and Central Arkansas still very much in the hunt. The Bearcats host the Lumberjacks while the Bears visit Northwestern State. Coach, there are 4 teams this week in the top 25 in the Southland Conference, half of the league in the top 25. This is SEC-style play in the FCS.
Yeah, you've got to be ready, and it's hard to get those conference wins, as we know. And to have one under our belt already is very good. I'm really excited about this challenge this week against Lamar. And again, but you've got to have your A game, to win games here.
Well, taking a closer look at Lamar, they jumped out to a 14-point lead at Southeastern, but didn't score again until late in the third quarter, falling 56-34. The Cardinals recorded 449 yards of offense and their 34 points, the most against Southeastern by a Southland team this season. Quarterback Caleb Berry completed 26 of 41 passes, almost 300 yards and 4 touchdowns. Freshman Cade Harrington went for 100 yards on the ground on 19 carries. And Jesse Dixon led the defensive effort, 9 tackles, including 3 for lost yardage. What do you make of these Cardinals, Coach?
Very athletic team. They're getting better. I think it's very similar, when I look at who all they've played. And, they haven't secured a conference win yet, but they've been definitely in games and in a position. So it's going to be a super football game there.
They've been testing a lot of teams. They're not the same Lamar pushover team now either.
Oh, no. We respect them. We haven't been able to beat them yet. It's always been a close game, but it's always been who just doesn't make the most mistakes. And unfortunately, we made the mistakes in crucial, because the last year it was 34-24 game. And, we just got to play 4 quarters. And I keep telling them all the time, the exciting part is that we haven't played a complete game yet. And so I know there's so much more ability out there and so much more we can do. So there is room for definite improvement.
All right, Coach. Well, one group of Colonels in particular has stepped up in a big way here in 2013. Amanda Kelly takes us into the trenches.
You could call them the protectors. The Colonel offensive line, much maligned over the past couple of years, are now overlooked and hardly spoken about. And that's a good thing. After returning 4 starters, they've played a big role in the success of the offense, and those paying attention have taken note of the unit's dramatic turnaround. While the 2011 and 2012 seasons were a struggle for everyone, the offensive line seemed especially burdened, giving up an inordinate number of sacks. Senior left tackle Abasi Salimu joined the team last year when things seemed at their toughest.
Last year, the struggle was just inexperience. That was my first year playing online. We had Brandon Holmes, who was a true freshman starting, and then we had other guys that just came in, and we were all still getting to know each other. So we still haven't built that camaraderie that we needed as an O-line. So and this year it's been better because we got a lot of time to spend together. So we just been coming together and just getting better.
Forced to watch the struggles from the sidelines last year was junior Rafe Plaisance, who had his eligibility stripped through no fault of his own.
Well, that was really difficult because initially going into the season, I was going to be the starting left guard. So, being dealt a blow like that, being ineligible was pretty tough. And having to see the offensive line struggle and knowing that I could have been in there helping them get better was tough. But, it just propelled me to come out here this year and have the best year I could.
The line was thrilled by the return of plaisance as it seemed to fill a crack in their bond, which now appears to be stronger than ever. The team's motto, Band of Brothers, definitely applies to the line, as they are together all the time, on and off the field.
I mean, we care a lot about each other on the offensive line. Like, that's one of the main keys to our success. Like, we try to play for the guy next to us. So if it's every time we're tired, we just think about the guy next to us and, like, we got to do it for him. We do it for the guy behind us. So we got to protect Scotty, protect Bo, protect Kalen. And just like the whole Band of Brothers thing is basically that.
Basically, we're all best friends, and that's the main thing. Whenever you have guys that you can trust for anything, I mean, not just football, in anything, you know. If you ever need help, if you ever, need anything, they'll be there at first call. So, I mean, that's the main thing right now. We have a big trust in our group, and that's helping us succeed on the field right now.
Joining the team this year was junior Ashton Dewey, who transferred from Southern Methodist. Dewey, who has recently started at center, fit in perfectly with new offensive line coach Matt Clark.
I think Coach Clark is doing a tremendous job for being his first year as offensive line coach. He really is like a teacher in the film room. I mean, he shows us what's really going on, and I'm a visual learner, so he uses a lot of things on the board to show you and through film and stuff like that.
The offensive line is all too happy to be taken for granted this year by the casual fan. It means they're doing their jobs. But those who know the game are singing their praises, and it's a great feeling.
I mean, with fans being behind you, and there's a couple guys I would have guessed they're alumni and maybe even past offensive linemen. They'll come up to me and say, hey, good block on this, or hey, I seen you last week. Y'all looked real good out there. It does actually feel good because you usually see somebody go up to, Toscani or Kalen or Bo saying nice pass or something like that, but you rarely get, hey, nice block. But it might be from a guy that played offensive line and is watching that position, but at least you know that somebody's watching you or the fans are there saying, hey, the offensive line is doing real good. We're scoring a lot of points. I mean, and like I said, you kind of need the line to score, so it's good to hear from fans that, we're doing a great job.
The offensive line encompasses what has made this Colonel team capable of such a turnaround. An unselfish attitude, a team-first mindset, and the will to improve. While they don't get the spotlight shown on them often, their efforts shouldn't go unnoticed this season. For the Charlie Stubbs Show, I'm Amanda Kelly.
Hi, my name's Chuck Hepela, recruiting coordinator at Nicholls State University. We'd like to give you some recruiting tips that can help you in your recruiting process. Our recruiting tip for today is about official visits. What is an official visit, and what are the requirements needed for an official visit? What is an official visit? An official visit is an on-campus visit by a student-athlete where all the expenses are paid for by the university. There are 4 requirements needed prior to taking an official visit. First, the student-athlete must provide a transcript to the visiting institution. Secondly, the student-athlete must provide a test score that was taken on a national testing date. Thirdly, the student-athlete must be placed on the institution's IRL, which stands for Institutional Request List. And lastly, they must be registered with the NCAA Eligibility Center. Hopefully, these recruiting tips can help you in your recruiting process.
Thank you very much, Coach Hepela. Folks, there are plenty of ways to keep up to the minute with Nicholls Athletics. Check out all of our social media sites. We'll be right back with more of the Charlie Stubbs Show presented by State Farm in a moment.
And this will be your premium right here.
Sorry to interrupt. I just want to say I combined home and auto with State Farm.
Saved $760.
Love this guy.
Okay, does it bother anybody else that the mime is talking? Freaky.
Bundle home and auto, and you could save $760.
That's 760 very good reasons to contact your local State Farm agent.
Donnie, I'm in Rouse's at least 3 times a week, and I want the best prices every day.
Come on, Chef. Let's go shopping.
All right. There's got to be at least 1,000 items just on this one aisle.
At Rouse's, we stock more groceries than anyone else.
I can see that. So what's with the tag? Best price every day.
It's the Rouse's guarantee. You're getting our lowest price every day.
So when I see this tag,
you know you don't have to wait for a sale.
I can shop any day
and get our best price every day. Rouse's, you're either local or you're not.
We welcome you back to the Charlie Stubbs Show, presented by State Farm. Time to announce our Rouse's Student Athlete of the Week. You're either local or you're not. Louisiana's Best can be found at your local Rouse's or at rouses.com. This week, it's sophomore forward Spencer Valdespino, who scored her school record 13th goal of the year in the Colonels' 1-0 win at Houston Baptist back on Friday, keeping Nicholls very much alive in the hunt for a postseason berth. Well, let's take a look at what's going on this weekend. The men's tennis team is at the ITF Futures event in Pensacola beginning today. The volleyball team tonight visiting Texas A&M Corpus Christi. Tomorrow afternoon, the soccer team hosts Southeastern. On Saturday, men's and women's cross country at the Southland Championships, while volleyball is at Houston Baptist. Also, the men's basketball team hosting Mobile in an exhibition game. And then on Sunday, it's senior day for soccer against Sam Houston State. Folks, a reminder, for all the information on Colonel football and all 14 athletic programs here at Nicholls, check out our website, GoColonels.com. That's G-E-A-U-X, GoColonels.com. Here with the head coach of the Colonels, Charlie Stubbs. Heading into Lamar, you got the Cardinals on the docket on Saturday. What is the quarterback situation like right now? We saw Toscani and Kalen go in and out. You going to keep it the same and just use that duo strategically?
Yeah, that's what we'll do. Toscani, with his style of play, with it being a lot of the runs that he does, he has his bumps and bruises, but also Kalen's getting more healthy. I think we could see that. He was a little rusty, but again, the more playing time. So I really feel good about him. Bo's getting more healthy too. So I've got 3 guys that I believe in every one of them. They're all a little bit different, but I expect to have very good quarterback play back there.
You hope after that last game that the win wasn't taken out of the sails of the Colonels. How have they been at practice this week?
So far, so good. The spirits are good. They're hungry and they want to. I told them that what's really going to identify this season is these last 4 games. We're 2/3 through. We're 4-4. And so, we're probably right where we should be. Maybe we won some games that, things went well for the Colonels. But right now, we've got 4 conference opportunities. They're excited. Now, we're facing the injury bug more than probably most people, but that gives us opportunity for other guys to step up. And one guy I'd like to note that's come in, and he sure hasn't replaced Marcus Washington, in the way of Marcus, all the things he brought. But I really believe that Dalton Hilliard has come in and done a very good job, in the 2 main games that he started, almost rushing for 100 yards in both games and being a weapon back there. And so I always use him as an example that he kept his attitude good. I'm sure he wanted to play more during his career, but when his number was called, he responded. And that's what I expect from these other young men that are going to get opportunities.
All right, Coach. Well, we wish you the best of luck, and we'll talk to you again next Thursday afternoon. Thanks so much for your time.
Okay, thank you.
The head coach of the Colonels, Charlie Stubbs. That's going to do it for our show. We will talk to you from Beaumont on Saturday on the Colonel Sports Radio Network. Until then, for our entire crew, I'm Mike Wagenheim. Have yourself a wonderful Thursday evening, and we'll see you here next Thursday afternoon. The Charlie Stubbs Show has been presented by State Farm. Contact your local State Farm agent today and get to a better state. This show has also been sponsored by Rouse's Supermarkets. You're either local or you're not. And by People's Health, your Medicare health team. This has been a presentation of the Colonel Sports Network.